We've all seen the commercials that tell us that frozen lasagna tastes exactly the way Grandma made it, but we all know this isn't true. All of us know that a home-cooked meal is memorable and delicious. But sadly, increasingly busy lifestyles make it impossible to afford the time to make a good home-cooked meal, and it seems that from-scratch cooking is becoming a bygone part of our culture. Nevertheless, I propose that each of us should learn how to cook for 3 reasons. There are health benefits, financial benefits, and social benefits. Let's look at each of these ideas in turn, beginning with health benefits. Obesity has become epidemic in our country, and in 2009, the Centers for Disease Control released a study in which they revealed that over 30% of the population was overweight or obese. This data reflects the need for nutrition awareness programs and fitness programs at increasingly younger ages. And it also reveals that we should change the kinds of foods that we take in. According to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, there is a link between poverty and obesity. That is, since the impoverished make up the greatest block of people, they tend to have the most statistics involved, and the poor tend to choose sugary, energy-packed foods. Now, these energy-packed foods tend to have a lot of fat, and this fat can be then stored as fat on our bodies. Now, the programs that help the poor get food, such as food stamps, are becoming increasingly under fire because they do not control such food purchases. Now, nutrition awareness is only the first step in combating obesity. Since it is the primary concern, what can be done? Just go to the grocery store and pick up a box of pasta or a can of soup, and you can tell that everything on that label is accurate because of the Truth in Labeling Act of 2004. Consider this example. On a box of Hamburger Helper beef stroganoff, the sodium content is about 610 milligrams of sodium per serving, while their spaghetti is 810 milligrams of sodium. And both of these are between 2 and 5% of your daily value of fats. Compare that with a box of burrito pasta, which comes in at 0 milligrams of sodium and 2% daily value of fat. And you can mix that with Classico brand Cabernet marinara sauce, and that comes in at 330 milligrams of sodium and also 2% of your daily value of fat. That's a considerable difference. There is, of course, no better recourse than to eat fresh fruit and vegetables. The health benefits of doing this are absolutely sound. Now, when you're preparing a meal, instead of reaching for a boxed or prepared mix of some kind, instead reach for the raw ingredients. And the reasons for doing this is you can control the content and how much of it goes into the dish. And as another tip, instead of using fatty sauces, use herbs and spices to flavor your foods. It's really powerful and no calories added. Now, these are just some of the many talking points of the health benefits, but what of the financial impact of cooking? We've all heard that healthy eating is expensive compared to boxed prepared meals. And we've all had this experience. But have we really considered the cost of these foods? The author of One Healthy Eating blog points out that the fresh fruit and vegetables don't come even close to the McDonald's dollar value menu because in terms of how filling it is. But the cost of fresh fruit and vegetables is overestimated, I think. A side of mashed potatoes at Kentucky Fried Chicken, for example, is $1 for an 8-ounce serving. Now, a bag of russet potatoes comes in at about $3 to $4. Now, this leaves you with leftovers depending on how many you make. The food itself is not the only cost to be considered. Healthcare costs can be far more staggering. With obesity, one of the most common side effects is heart disease, and a common surgery that is prescribed for it is a heart bypass surgery. Consider this cost breakdown from the Healthcare Blue Book. It is $3,714 for physician's fees, $55,591 for a 10-day stay at the hospital, and $2,495 for the surgery itself. Think about that. Again, there is much to be said about the financial costs of it, but there is yet another area of benefit: your social life. What you serve to your guests or family says a lot about your life and values. Do you go to Taco Bell and pick up the 10 tacos for $10? Or do you serve a full spread with fresh bread, soup, and tortellini, soda, or juices? If your family and friends don't care about quality, then none of this will make any difference. Quality, after all, is hard to gauge. The Journal of American Culture says that predictability is highly prized. That is, we all want our food to turn out exactly the same way as it was made the last time. Now, the act of cooking is fun and rewarding, I think. Not only do you become aware of what you take in, but you also gain valuable bonding time with your family. What's more, if you're a parent, you can pass on these skills of great worth to your children that will serve them for the rest of their lives. You can also use your abilities to help in soup kitchens or in other charitable ways, like at your church. Consider, for example, teaching a cooking course or a nutrition course like Food for Health and Soul, which contains both health and spiritual benefits. This is an age of challenges. We are currently uncertain of where the economy is going, and as things get more and more expensive, we are forced to buy cheaper and cheaper things. Poverty, of course, is a big part of that. And as we have seen, it is linked to poor eating in conjunction with a lack of health and nutrition related programs. The primary motivation here is to get us to think about obesity and all of the health care's concerns attributed to it. I have examined the 3 areas of benefit: health, wealth, and social benefits to cooking. I challenge each and every one of you to consider that point and go on cooking into the future.